Kirk Herbstreit, in many ways the voice of college football, an Ohio State graduate himself, and certainly someone who's been all over the college football landscape. And Herbie, we appreciate you making some time. What was your reaction when you saw the news that the Big Ten presidents had voted to postpone the football season?
I guess we're not shocked, right? I mean, we've been hearing about it for the last couple days. Disappointed. You really feel bad for so many players, so many coaches. They're heartbroken. They wanted an opportunity to go out there and play. But at the same time, and they'll have a press conference here shortly, and they'll be able to break down exactly what happened with the doctors and the protocols and everything that went into this. But I think right now, like a lot of college football fans, just kind of devastated by the news that it's a reality now. Well, there won't be any college football as far as the Big Ten, and it sounds like eventually the Pac-12 for now.
Yeah, and that was my next question, Herbie, is do you get the sense that this is just the first car to leave the garage, that everybody else is going to follow? Or in your conversations you've had with so many around that others might choose different paths?
I think everybody, the one thing about college football at this level, everybody kind of lives in a silo. There are 5 silos in the Power 5, and they're all kind of looking at their constituents, their presidents, their ADs, their coaches, their players. I think Larry Scott in the Pac-12, from everything you've been hearing, it sounds like they may have an announcement later today to go along with the Big Ten. I don't think that necessarily means it's a big domino today. I think the ACC, and especially the SEC Big 12, they're going to reevaluate and see what they want to do based on what their own doctors are telling them. That's the thing that's been really crazy, is how inconsistent the doctors have been from one conference to the other. You listen to Greg Sankey today on ESPN. They feel very comfortable with what they're getting back as far as information is concerned, and continuing to. That's why they pushed back their start date to the latter part of September. So I don't think because we're seeing this, I don't think it's an automatic assumption that the other 3 will eventually make the same decision. They might, but I don't think it's because of what's happening today.
So the Big Ten has intentions to play in the spring of 2021. So in pushing the season back a handful of months, do we expect that the season would look a lot like a normal fall, maybe just with different weather around, or would this be an altered landscape?
No, it'd be different. I mean, everybody I've talked with, they're talking about the possibility anywhere from maybe 6 games to 8 games. I've heard people say trying to start in February. Others have said let's try to start in March. The big thing really is, what do you do with the players right now? I know Jeff has these big ideas about college football being the minor leagues for the NFL. Believe it or not, that's not what college football is about, except for the 1 or 2% of players that make it to the NFL. The other 98% of college football players play college football, and that's why they're there, to enjoy the college experience. So people I've talked to is, really the primary focus is, okay, now that this is a reality, what are we going to do with September? What are we going to do with October? What are we going to do with November and December? I think now it becomes more about going back to what you would normally do in June, where you have one-on-one workouts and just trying to continue to fine-tune your game. So the players, man, they put so much, they put so much into a season, and then to have this taken away from them, just in talking to a few guys, I mean, I know they're heartbroken, just because I think they were so close to thinking. Just a week ago, they had omitted the schedules and got down to 10 games, and everybody thought that there was a reality of this thing getting kicked off, and here we are a week later, and things are completely taken down. So it's a very, very tough day, I know, for a lot of the Big Ten coaches, and especially the players.
Herbie, you mentioned those 1 to 2% that do have a chance to play at the next level. And let's talk about maybe some of the best, like a Justin Fields from Ohio State, understanding that their future is a very deeply personal decision. What do you expect out of these top prospects? Might they say, you know something, as much as I love my college and my team, I need to look out for my family and just move forward with my football career to the NFL?
Well, it depends. Is the draft still going to be in the latter part of April? Is the NFL going to look at college football, especially if eventually all 5 of the Power 5 conferences have to end up pulling the plug in the fall and they're trying to play in the spring? Do they try to reach down and work with the college football powers to be and say, hey, we want to be a good partner. These are uncharted waters. We feel awful just because it's impacting our world and your world. Hey, let's push back the draft to June or July. I know those conversations negotiations aren't happening now, but could they? That would go a long way in determining of whether or not these players would stay and play or not. If the draft stayed in April, my guess would be the high-profile guy like a Justin Fields, and eventually if the ACC, a Trevor Lawrence type of player, they'd have to make a decision. Obviously, most would probably opt to sit out and get ready for the NFL. But be interesting to see. Those are things that are going to happen here in the weeks to come. But the NFL, I know that they're, they look at their world and nothing's going to get in their way. But they also like to be a good partner to college football because of the appreciation they have of what college football does for them.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.